Divine Ones, and thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Embodied Divinity. Let's take some deep breaths together in through your nose, out through your mouth. Thank you for joining me today. I'm not sure where we're going to go, but I know that today I have a beautiful message in my heart for you about what it looks like to live unattached. And I want to give you a new perspective on what it looks like to live unattached. So as you settle into this teaching today, just notice what arises for you. There's no need to judge, no need to criticize, no need to compare. Simply breathe into what feels right and true for you. I remember was like 12 years ago now, 13 years ago. I lose track of time these days. I was 21 years old. I was an only parent. And I was diagnosed with cancer, a really rare form of cancer. I was kind of like a guinea pig for the doctors as they tried to figure out what was going on and how to treat me. And I remember, being an only parent, I'm still trying to get my master's degree, still teaching full time, still supporting my children, watching my parents and my family in fear around my diagnosis. It really caused me to go inward. It really caused me to make friends with death, and really caused me to really deepen into my connection of something bigger and wider than I could have ever imagined. It's really the pinnacle of when my deep dive into spirituality and higher consciousness came. I had a lot of God trauma to work through. And so instead of turning directly to God, I looked for this higher power. And what I found was the universal consciousness, a being, a presence, an energy so big, so powerful, so all-consuming, that I knew that as I experienced life, this consciousness was experiencing life right alongside me. The same experiences, the same movements, the same breaths as I went through my journey as an extension of this source. The source was evolving through me because of me, like it evolves through you because of you. Bringing all of that learning back to that higher universal consciousness, that oneness in which we all one day return to. So I kept going on my journey. I had this feeling, but I didn't have the language to attach to it. I didn't really know what I was experiencing, and I kept moving and I kept moving through it. Later on in my journey, as I encountered codependent relationships and started to really heal my trauma, I started to learn about unattachment. And as I learned about unattachment, it felt good in some ways, right? To not let the outside world sway you, to not be so attached to something that you would cling to it, try to control it or resist it. But something in my body still didn't feel right. It still felt a dissonance with the word unattachment. This last year and a half, I have been humbled by the universe over and over again, brought to my knees again and again in deep surrender, really open to whatever life was happening through me, whatever life was teaching me, however I was evolving through life. And it was painful, but that same feeling has always been with me of a greater being, that universal consciousness right beside me, experiencing life with me. I lost my grandfather last week, and as I've sat in grief, the one thing that has never changed since the moment he went into the hospital was that I felt him with me. Not his physical form, but his spirit, his soul. I felt it just like he was sitting next to me. And I spoke a couple weeks ago about my version of non-attachment, which is being so utterly attached to every single thing that there is almost a sense of neutrality as you face different experiences, people, opportunities. They hold the same weight in your heart. And so while my physical, my ego, my spirit was grieving the lack of physical presence of my grandfather here on earth as I went through all the emotions and I'm still moving through all the emotions, my soul never once doubted that constant attachment and connection. I didn't put a huge weight or story on the grief. I simply let myself feel it. I'm simply letting myself experience it here and now, knowing deep inside that I am so connected and attached to my grandfather's conscious spirit that we can never be separate. When I say goodbye to a partner, or when my kids go out into the world, although my ego, although my physicality may miss their physical presence, my soul is constantly attached to them the way that I and you are constantly attached to higher universal consciousness, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it. Never for a moment, never for a second can we become separate, regardless of what we are doing, what we are experiencing, what we are seeing in front of us. Whatever our ego is telling us, we are never separate. And so for me, unattachment means just the opposite. It's being so deeply attached to every life force energy, every wave of consciousness, that you can never truly lose or separate from anything. And so your ego does not have to control, does not have to resist, does not have to manipulate, can simply be with what is. If someone says hello, greet them with an open heart, that loving connection of you are me and I am you and we are one, having different physical experiences. If someone says goodbye, allow yourself to experience the feelings, the missing of their physicality, but know deep inside that they are never truly leaving you, that they are you and you are them, and you are each having a different individual physical experience. But in the end and in the always, we are all that higher universal consciousness, that state of oneness, the same wave of frequency of energy. We are extensions of that, having individual experiences. We have a powerful destiny to return to that oneness, and that is all. The rest of this life is made up of moments of divine will, of conscious choice. However you choose to evolve, whatever you choose to experience here on earth is good, is enough, is perfect. In the end, we all return to that state of oneness. And that's why this powerful way of being so attached to it all annihilates any form of judgment. I cannot judge another person for their actions. Now I can discern whether it's in alignment or dissonance with me and what I choose to be around, to believe in, to invest in as a physical being here on earth. But the judgment goes away because I see them, whatever they're doing, whether they are winning awards and becoming billionaires and creating successful businesses, or they are homeless on the street, or they are making choices that don't align with me. They are simply the same universal consciousness, having their own individual experience here on earth, but at their core, they are the same as me. Love, oneness, the highest frequency of light, having these human experiences here on earth alongside me. This is what embodied divinity is all about. It's been so powerful for me to be able to sit with this grief and not attach to it, to feel my soul, my highest self, the universal consciousness within and all around me, present, holding me, to be able to see and observe, experience, and evolve through my grief, to be able to alchemize it, to be able to deepen my connection with the man I called grandfather's conscious spirit, to feel that move through me in a way that it never could when he was in physical form. It's a powerful feeling, and we have the power when we are truly embodied in our divinity, when we know that we are that God source energy, having a human experience, literal extensions of God in human form. Life becomes full of magic, of opportunity, of experience, so rich, so alive, so full. And it's us allowing that, being with that, feeling into that, but not attaching to it, that we evolve and transmute and create new worlds. It's a really powerful thing, and it makes life, what I will say, easy, not necessarily comfortable, not necessarily always filled with pleasure, but easy in a sense that every moment is the moment you're experiencing, and that is it. There's no story running in my head holding me captive about what I wish I could have done differently with my grandfather or what I'm missing out on in the future. I'm simply here now with the experience of grief, with the experience of what is here, allowing that to move through me. If I was creating all of these stories, I would be suffering right now. And I've seen people experience grief and deeply suffer because they attach to all the what ifs or all the missing out ofs. When we're here in this present moment, whether we're walking away from a relationship, whether we're grieving the loss of a loved one, whether we're stepping into our highest power, whether we're experiencing our child's first birthday, when we don't allow the past or the future to muddle the beauty of the present moment, when we see every experience as that one universal consciousness having and experiencing life here and now, we truly live. We truly come alive. And I share this with you today, number one, because I'm all about sharing my journey. I want you to see the way I process, I move through things in real life. I know it's so easy sometimes to listen to different podcasts and books of people talking about how to move through these things. And when I can show up here, still in my grief, showing you what it looks like for me to move through it, you can see what's possible for you. I came to this earth to be an initiator for others to step into their highest divinity in human form. And I can only do that by showing up consciously, transparently, in my own highest vibrational state, in my own sense of oneness, in my own present moment power. for you to witness, as a mirror for you. I also came to share this experience for those of you moving through something hard or something joyful that maybe you've become very attached to. I've seen a lot of clients, especially in my hip hop artists, who get a really big deal or a really big break, and they immediately start writing really crappy songs because they're so attached to the outcome, to writing the next best hit, to figuring out what is next instead of doing what they were doing before, which is writing what was moving through them. I came here to show you how powerful it can be when we live in this beautiful place of deep oneness and attachment to everything around us that takes the need for control and manipulation out of it. And I'm here to guide you. It is my honor and calling to guide those deeper into their own initiation. And you can do that with my program, Embodied Divinity. It's a one-on-one 6-month course where we work together every single week for 6 months. You have me on Voxer the whole duration of the time, and I am here walking with you every step of the way, reminding you that you are a divine, beautiful, powerful being having a human experience, bringing you back to yourself deeper and deeper each and every day. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for receiving my message. Thank you for witnessing me in my present moment experience, for allowing me to open you to new ways of seeing, thinking, and for beginning your deep and powerful transformation into this state of oneness and embodied being with me today. I love you. I see you. I'm here with you. As always, breathe deep and plan on miracles. I'll see you next time.